Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. A major rise in COVID cases. India crosses a 3-week high at 43,654 in the last 24 hours. But over 50% of India's cases are just from one state, that's Kerala. Meanwhile, Delhi's infection rate crosses 1, that's a warning sign. The Bengal Chief Minister's key meeting with Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. Mamata Banerjee says all parties must unite to defeat the BJP. She meets Delhi's Chief Minister as well. Meanwhile, in Parliament, opposition leaders now have a common strategy. This as the government passes the bankruptcy bills and the juvenile bills amid opposition protests. 5 lakh insurance for bank deposits if the bank fails or is placed under a moratorium, announces the government. Also, major changes in the Companies Act, including decriminalizing key sections. Karnataka's new Chief Minister takes charge, Basavaraj Bommai. He says it's not about caste but governance. That will be his main agenda. Also, besides the politics, celebrations at home with his family. The US Secretary of State's key visit to India says that strengthening freedom, equality and democratic institutions are core to the Indo-American relationship. India says never equate freedom with non-governance. Our lead story tonight, a big jump in new COVID cases in India. India has reported 43,654 new cases in the last 24 hours. That's up just over 47%. Deaths are also up in the last 24 hours. That's 640. That's up over 54%. The vaccination in the last 24 hours are 41 lakhs. That's up 15.5%. The daily positivity rate is at 2.51%. And of course, the worrying sign of today's cases are at the highest in the last 3 weeks, with India at over 43,000 cases. But let's just look at the breakup, because the fact remains that just one state, Kerala, is actually over 50% of those cases, over 22,129 cases in the last 24 hours. Maharashtra is second, but way behind at 6,258, though their cases are going up as well. Tamil Nadu, Orissa, all at around 1,600. Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka just over 1,500. Assam also just below 1,500. But this is a sign to watch as cases going up. And Kerala, now the one state which accounting for over 50% of India's cases. The BJP has said this is because the state relaxed restrictions for Eid.
COVID testing at Malappuram in Kerala that reported over 4,000 cases on Tuesday, pushing up Kerala's COVID numbers to over 22,000 in a day. That is more than 50% of the total COVID figures for the country. Over the last 4 weeks, 7 of Kerala's 14 districts are among 22 districts across the country that have reported increasing trend of daily new cases. The BJP has lashed out against the Kerala government, blaming relaxations given during Eid for the highest single-day spike in 2 months. BJP spokesperson Amit Malviya singled out Malappuram that has a Muslim majority. The state government says more numbers were reported because testing had gone up from less than 1.2 lakh to nearly 1.8 lakh. There is cluster testing, which means if one person tests positive, the family, contacts are all tested, and reporting is efficient.
Even though we are doing a targeted testing, and we can say that the TPR remains high because of that, the only solution by which we can bring this epidemic under control in Kerala is to have more vaccination.
The latest ICMR Sero survey has pointed out that almost 48% of Kerala is susceptible to the virus. Add to that, population density is high and people are very mobile. The Kerala government was under pressure from the traders to open up during Eid. In another 3 weeks, another important Kerala festival, Onam, is coming up. And it will be a tough balancing act for the government to balance between lives, livelihoods and perhaps also politics. In Thiruvananthapuram with camera person SP Babu and Nagaraju Umasudhir, NDTV.
So Kerala over 50% of states, but Delhi's R number, that's the rate at which the infection spreads, has also crossed 1. Now that's a worrying indicator, and Delhi is only the second state after Kerala among big states to actually cross that number. Even though Delhi's overall cases are still below 100, we need to watch that R rate very carefully. Moving to the other big political news, 14 opposition parties addressed a joint press conference today saying that they will continue to agitate until the government orders a Supreme Court monitored probe into the Pegasus phone hacking scandal. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who was leading the opposition parties, said that this is actually treason. It's not just about phone tapping, but it's actually an act of treason. Meanwhile, in Parliament, the government continued to pass key bills, including the bankruptcy bill and the juvenile justice bill, as the opposition continued disruptions.
स्पीकर सर, लेकिन जो सरकार गरीब वंचित शोषित लोगों की सरकार है, डिमांड रखी है,
The opposition disrupting both houses of parliament. Opposition members shouting in Tamil, "We want a probe," and in Bengali, "Kela hobe." Outside, 14 opposition parties, many of them rivals, coming together to put pressure on the government over the Pegasus phone hacking scandal. Rahul Gandhi taking the lead and attending, a first in many years.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने एक हथियार डाला है। मेरे खिलाफ वो हथियार का प्रयोग किया गया, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के खिलाफ उस हथियार का प्रयोग किया गया, बाकी नेताओं के खिलाफ वो हथियार प्रयोग किया गया, प्रेस के लोगों के खिलाफ ये हथियार का प्रयोग किया गया, तो सदन में बात क्यों नहीं होनी चाहिए?
But the government is not ready for a discussion. In fact, it passed key legislations, the insolvency and bankruptcy bill, and allowed increased expenditure from the exchequer, even as the opposition protested. The Shiv Sena came out strongly in support, as did other parties like the Samajwadi Party, DMK, among others.
आपने देखा होगा पूरा अपोजिशन यूनाइटेड है और यूनाइटेड रहेगा राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के मामले पर और फार्मर्स एक्ट के ऊपर हम एक साथ रहेंगे.
But the government seems determined not to allow a discussion and has refused to order a probe into the Pegasus allegations, insisting surveillance of the alleged kind is impossible and there are enough checks and balances to ensure this.
ऑपोजिशन इन सब से मतलब नहीं रखता. इतना बड़ा बैनर स्पीकर साहब के सामने उनके चेहरा ढकने के लिए भी कोशिश हो रही है. इसके ऊपर कोई चिंता नहीं. दुख से कहना पड़ रहा है.
सरकार चर्चा के लिए तैयार है. अगर विपक्ष के लोग मंत्री जी के हाथ से स्टेटमेंट लेके फाड़ देंगे, उत्तर दे रहे मंत्री के ऊपर कागज फेंकेंगे, बड़े बड़े मीडिया की गैलरी तक फैलेंगे, स्पीकर के ऊपर फेंकेंगे, तो ये परिदृश्य भारत के लोकतंत्र के लिए अच्छा नहीं है.
Opposition parties say they are united on three key issues: national security relating to snooping, attack on democratic institutions, and farmers' welfare. It's on these issues that the opposition is trying to put up a united face despite their internal contradictions, like the Akalis fighting the Congress in Punjab, the Trinamool Congress using Mamata's presence to stay away from a joint press conference, but nevertheless they want to show a united face against the Narendra Modi government. With camera person Prem Singh, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
And leading that united opposition initiative is West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Her most important meetings today were with Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. She also met with Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, saying that she needs to put together a united opposition against the BJP. When asked if she would be the face of this opposition front, she says it's too early to decide that yet.
Mamata Banerjee with Sonia Gandhi. Rivals in West Bengal, but now a show of unity as the West Bengal leader caps off her Delhi trip meant to galvanize the anti-BJP opposition. Emerging from the meeting, Ms. Banerjee was vague about specifics but said it was a positive meeting.
Sonia ji invited me for a cup of tea. Rahul ji is also there. So we met. We discussed the political situation in general, and also we discussed about Pegasus to COVID situation. Positive meeting. I think the positive. देखिए बीजेपी को हराने के लिए सबको एक होना जरूरी है.
But beyond the photo ops, opposition synergies remain uneven. Both the TMC and the Congress are protesting separately inside and outside Parliament on the Pegasus spyware scandal. Even in the joint presser by 14 opposition parties headed by Congress, Trinamool Congress was missing.
There is also this question of who will lead the anti-BJP front. When asked at the press interaction whether she fancies herself as a leader, Mamata Banerjee said she is just a political worker, not an astrologer, and it depends on the time.
After meeting with Gandhis, Ms. Banerjee also met Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, another strong constituent of anti-BJP bloc. Even in the 2020 assembly elections in Delhi, TMC had thrown its weight behind Aam Aadmi Party.
Mamata Banerjee's Delhi visit has caught the headlines, but will it help to build a strong coalition to unseat BJP in 2024? It needs more than these photo-op meetings. With camera person Xavier, this is Arvind Gunasekar for NDTV.
Well, in other news, the cabinet today cleared a key bill which sets a deadline and increases the payout limit for bank customers where the bank is actually failed or put under moratorium. So now there will be a payout of 5 lakhs for your bank deposits, raised from the current 1 lakh.
Yes, first 45 days will go for the bank which is now in distress to collect all the accounts where the claims will have to be made, and then it will be given to this insurance company which in real time will check it all up, and nearer the 90th day you will get the money, or within 90 days the process will be definitely completed, and not waiting for the eventual liquidation.
Also, the cabinet today has cleared decriminalizing parts of a key law. The aim is to help startups and other companies. The amendments are proposed in the Limited Liability Partnership Act. 12 provisions will be decriminalized and compoundable offences cut as well. Well, the other big headline, the new Chief Minister of Karnataka has taken over today, saying the focus should be on governance and not which caste he belongs to.
ನಾನು ಬಸವರಾಜ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ
Basavaraj Bommai, sworn in as Karnataka Chief Minister, with the blessings of his predecessor B.S. Yediyurappa.
The emotion is of responsibilities. Knowing very well the present situation of both COVID and floods, and due to COVID for last 1.5 years, the economic challenges the state is reeling.
Bommai's father, S.R. Bommai, was also State Chief Minister.
My father was a Raist, and he was a man of principles, and he fought for that, and even he didn't care for his chair, and he stood by his principles. He has set a very high standard. So my challenge is to keep up to the high standard.
To live up to that, yes. For now, it is victory for Bommai, a Lingayat like Yediyurappa, representing this powerful group which is seen as a BJP vote bank.
In Bommai, you should also see his capability, his experience. So caste has not the only concern.
The choice of the non-controversial Bommai would be pleasing to Yediyurappa, who is assured of Bommai's loyalty until the very end of his term. And it's good news for his associates.
Plenty of hope, because I am a very good friend of Bommai. We are just like a Jodettu. So from last 2 years, we are together in the government.
On day one, Bommai held a cabinet meeting and met senior officers, later announcing an increase in funding to welfare schemes. Up ahead, a possible churn of the cabinet, an expected third wave of COVID-19, and state elections in less than 2 years' time. For now, though, an excited and happy family. A family he says he is lucky to have. We see your lovely family here also. We see that your lovely family is also waiting to get a minute of your time. And what does it mean for your private life? Because you've been in public life all along, but I can see a lot of laughter here. What does it mean for private life?
No, I think Dad has handled it really well. He has always put family first.
Yeah, Maya.
And I think he'll still do that.
You will do that as well.
Yeah.
So you will be able to balance everything as well.
Yeah, family is very dear to me. Even though I am not able to give much time, they always be there with me.
Karnataka has a new chief minister in Basavaraj Bommai, B.S. Yediyurappa loyalist who turned into the successor of the man he stood by till the very end. Bommai's choice is being seen as non-controversial. Nobody has any major objections, and the people here at the swearing-in certainly happy to see him as Chief Minister of Karnataka. With J.M. Kumar, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Let's just look at the global COVID numbers, because where cases are really rising are the United States. There are over 71,000 cases in the last 24 hours. Deaths going up as well because the Delta variant. India, with a jump in numbers, is now at number 2 with over 43,650 cases, followed by Brazil, France, and then the United Kingdom, which has seen a decline in recent days at just nearly 24,000. But again, what's worrying is that there's been a record COVID case rise in Tokyo amid the Olympics. Daily virus case in Tokyo topping 3,000 for the first time. This, of course, as Japan's vaccination program has started slowly, and a record number of visitors and athletes and delegations for the Olympics.